Hey, Bill, what day is it?
Hey gang, welcome back to Hey Bill, What Day Is It? Every year, on the third Sunday in June, we observe what has become known as Father's Day. I think the name is wrong, because any guy can become a father. But not everyone can be a dad. That takes a very special person. So I think it should be called Dad's Day. So let's take a look to see if you're a dad or just a father. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining and the breeze is blowing. You're sitting in your favorite recliner, reading your newspaper. Are you a dad or a father? And the answer is a father. Now let's picture that same day. This time, you're out playing ball with your kids, or riding bikes, or fishing. Now you're a dad. There's a big difference. The spectrum of fathers ranges from new fathers, as they learn to raise and nurture their new child, to highly experienced fathers and grandfathers, who can boast multiple children and grandchildren. I personally am the biological father of 3 wonderful kids who have bestowed 7 grandchildren on me. Of course, my wife helped, but that's a different holiday. The day celebrates everything a father is. Fathers from family to family play a variety of roles. They may be a caregiver, or they may be a provider, or they may be an advisor. They should always be a leader, instilling values and morals in order for their children to prosper. Some fathers are the strong, silent types, while others just seem to have the gift of entertainment that keeps the offspring laughing. Fathers teach, guiding small hands as they hammer a nail or sail a kite. So where did Father's Day come from? Well, Mother's Day seemed to be such a huge success, Father's Day observances began to appear around the United States and the world. However, the road to this national observance was pretty rough. The first recorded celebration of Father's Day happened after the Monograph mining disaster in West Virginia on December of 1907. The disaster killed 361 men and left around 1,000 children fatherless. Grace Golden Clayton suggested a day honoring all those fathers to her pastor, Robert Thomas Webb. On July 5, 1908, the community gathered in honor of the men lost in the mining accident. In 1910, the YMCA in Spokane, Washington, recruited several clergymen with the help of Sonora Smart Dodd to honor families throughout the city. The date was set for June 5th, but was later changed to June 19th, the third Sunday in June, as many clergymen needed more time to prepare. Harry C. Meeks, a member of Lions Clubs International, claimed that he first had the idea for Father's Day in 1915. Meek argued that the third Sunday in June was chosen because it was his birthday. The Lions Club has named him originator of Father's Day. Meek made many efforts to promote Father's Day and make it an official holiday. After a visit to Spokane, Washington in 1916 to speak at a Father's Day celebration, President Woodrow Wilson wanted to make the day official. But Congress resisted, fearing that the observance would become too commercialized. Once again, a president nearly intervened, but President Calvin Coolidge stopped short of issuing a national proclamation in 1924. Sonora Smart Dodd continued to work to make Father's Day a national observance. In 1936, 1 out of 6 fathers in New York received a Father's Day gift. What saved the day? Neckties. In 1938, she collaborated with the Father's Day Council, a group of New York menswear retailers, for the commercial promotion of the observance. While their intent was to raise sales, many Americans still resisted the holiday for decades because of these attempts to commercialize the day. It wasn't until 1966 that President Lyndon B. Johnson issued the first presidential proclamation honoring fathers on the third Sunday in June. The holiday wasn't made an annual event until President Richard Nixon signed it into law, making it a permanent national holiday in 1972, over 50 years after Mother's Day came into existence. It could have been much earlier if we'd stopped and asked for directions. We can look to nature to see some examples of what it really means to be a father. The Australian Emu, the second largest bird in the world, does things a little differently than we do it. When they mate, the male builds a nest where the female can lay her eggs. Then the female disappears and the father sits on the eggs for 58 days, hardly leaving. He loses over half his body weight just waiting for them to hatch. Then he raises them by himself, training and nurturing them until they can survive on their own. The ostrich, the largest bird in the world, uses a team approach. The female lays her eggs and they take turns sitting on the nest. The male is black, so he sits on them at night for better camouflage. The female is brown, which helps her hide as she sits on them during the day. So, what do fathers really want on Father's Day? Is it a big steak dinner? Is it a fishing trip? Or a ball game? Is it a rodeo? Or a car race? Or a movie? Maybe some new ties? Well, the answer to all of those questions is a big yes. But is it what he wants most? Probably not. What he'd really like is a couple of hours with his children with no TV, no cell phones, no tablets, and no video games. Most of the dads I know would really enjoy an afternoon like that. If the kids are young, he'll be thinking about how he wants them to turn out, hoping for a prosperous, successful life, filled with joy. If they're older, he'll be reminiscing about the old days as he watched them grow. The great times they had on vacations, at church, at their ball games, they will all have a special place in his heart. What can make the likelihood of all this happening? Fathers should most of all be the spiritual leader of their family. When a father is a godly example, their children will benefit well into eternity. The Bible is loaded with sage advice to both fathers and mothers. It also has guidance for children that will greatly aid in the child-rearing process. You might just want to memorize a few scriptures that can help, such as Proverbs 22:6. Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they're old, they will not turn from it. Or Psalm 103:13. As a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him. How about some advice for children? Colossians 3:20. Children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. Kids, remember what your dad signed up for when he decided to have you. He committed to 6,575 consecutive days of raising you. No days off, no vacations, just seeing to it that you turned out as good as he could make you. And don't get too cocky when he asks you for help with his computer or cell phone. Remember, he taught you to use a spoon and wipe your behind. I'm Bill Wasore, and this is Hey Bill, What Day Is It? Have you done anything special to make this a special day for your dad? You should. And while you're at it, have a triumphant day. He'll be proud of you for it.